Yes, welcome to Creating ComicsGate Live. This is Rata and Glory, and I am joined today by
Cancel that
XENOTYPE
video
writer.
before it skips over and you get a copyright
Oh
strike.
yeah,
I got your back, buddy.
YouTube doesn't even care about me right now. I've come to realize that I'm so small the algorithm doesn't even see me yet, so it's not a problem.
Sorry, just trying to take care of you, man.
No, I appreciate that. How you doing, Liam?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, very
Thanks for
good.
having me. Thanks for having me here.
No, it's me who should be thanking you, man. My tiny channel is, hopefully we can sell you a couple books tonight. But you knew coming on that I wasn't going to move the needle for you, but you did it
You-
anyway. You did it
I want to be
anyway.
here. I want to be here with you guys. I want to promote. I love the chat, and I'm always looking for an opportunity to hang out with guys. So I just will say hi to Cryptic and hi to Felix. Thanks for being here, guys. Early on,
Yes,
appreciate it.
hail indeed.
Yeah.
Welcome, chat. Please like and share the vid if you can.
Mhm.
Sub to the channel if you haven't. I'm trying to grow this thing so I can help people like Liam, creators, sell their comics. That's what I want to do with this channel. And it's a tough grind growing a YouTube channel. I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure.
anyone who's tried it knows that. So Xenotype, let's go ahead and get that pulled up. I I think the campaign is doing quite well. I know you'd like it to be. You'd like to be running head to head with Raging Golden Eagles book,
Who
but
wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
yeah, of course, man. And you know, it sure felt like that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
Initially, you got a huge surge. Your launch day was absolutely beautiful. I enjoyed a lot. I was on a lot, participating in the chat with a lot of those streams, and there's just so much energy in this.
Oh, it's
And you are
fun.
not
It's
done by
fun.
a long shot.
Oh no way. We're up and coming. We're sharp. We're hungry, and we're nowhere near stopping. So
Yeah,
we'll make this a campaign worthy of contending with Rage. We'll give him something to laugh with. It'll be good. We just got to
I
push
believe
through.
it.
We just got to push through right now.
Yes. Not Joe Fago's in the chat. Hail, thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here, Frogo. Always good to see you, mate. Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, a
Yeah.
200-page product
Mhm.
you're
Mhm.
delivering.
And
And
we
I
might secretly have about 134 other pages that will probably shh, 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 shh.
very quiet.
But yeah, so we've got a bunch of stuff, but the main book is up 200 pages, so it's exciting.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah,
And
machines.
how many bathroom breaks do you allow Odie per day?
He can have two, but one
Two.
goes into his lunch break.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
Mhm.
you gotta bring the hammer down
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
these artists, man.
Yeah, they're out of control. They're out of
Out
control.
of control. They got those egos, and
They
and
do.
and they know.
They've got these rock star diva celebrities, and they're like, "Oh, I'm a rock star. I can draw like one of the best people in the world." It's like, no,
No,
no. Humble
yeah,
yourself.
you
Humble
got to
yourself.
keep them under control, man. And
No,
I
not
think you're
really.
doing a good job with that. I mean, Todd
No.
McFarlane said one of his keys to success was not going to being able to not go to the bathroom.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, you get a
That
little
other
bit
guy's taking
distracted.
a potty break, and he's working.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, that's it. You get a little bit distracted by the little things. It happens with writing too. You know what I mean? You get a little bit distracted, and then it's 10 other things will distract you, and you'll validate the distraction because you'll always be getting back to them. Yeah, you can draw wearing diapers. That's, you know what?
There you
I think
go,
I'll check if we can work that into the budget. Well,
dude.
that'll probably increase efficiency by 10%.
There you go. There you go. You
So
budget those diapers in, and you're getting the productivity
yeah, I'll have to factor
per
that into the
month.
next. I'll have to
Yeah,
factor that into the next Indiegogo.
got to do it, dude.
Exactly. And we've already got him washing himself with a rag on a stick. So
Yes. And he's got that. He's already doing the whole, water out of the massive coffee pot. So,
Yeah,
he's not having to go
Carol.
refill a small glass all the
Yeah,
time. He's got the jug.
yeah, he's got the jug. You know.
Unfortunately, that might lead to, needing to use the bathroom, but that's where the diapers come in.
Yeah, that's where the diapers. It's all part of an intricate system, a network, a
Yes.
plan. But no, but he is a phenomenal artist. He is Odie is just amazing. Xenotype looks amazing. We're on schedule. We caught up, guys. So the couple of days that we sort of fell behind because we're doing promotions, because I did that 24-hour stream with Rage and everything, like that whole thing knocked us back a little bit, but then we just pushed hard and now we're back on schedule. So it's really, really exciting.
That was insane. I mean, I was really busy with work this week. Life makes demands, and I wasn't able to really engage that. It's just like, wow, that must have been something to be a
It
part
was
of. How
it
long
was
were
a
you on that?
blast. I have no idea. I think I have no idea, but most of it, the vast majority of it.
And I'm sure being the high quality human being that you are, you didn't take the opportunity to push yourself too much.
I did. I got 20 guys. I got 20 backers. I was stoked with that. I
Nice.
think it was 20, something like that. It was good. But, you know, I wanted to really I didn't want to show myself too much. I just wanted to have fun because I know that a lot of people just want to have fun on stream. So I was just being a little silly,
It's so crucial,
chilling out.
man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, one of the most fascinating things to me about ComicsGate, and I think it's both a strength and maybe a weakness, is that it really has to be about entertaining people first
Mm-hmm.
and selling second.
Yeah.
And I think that's become, EVS's and Cecil and some of the top players have really driven that home. They've proven that.
Yeah.
But it does create a situation where if you don't happen to have that charisma that people instantly respond to, or you can't find a way to be that entertaining, it makes it difficult.
It does. It does. And it's daunting. And people want you to pretend like if you're a new creator and you're watching this, people want you to pretend like it's easy. Like, oh, everyone likes you and stuff. And like, there's no problem. But these are people who are easily liked,
Yeah.
If you're a little bit like me, you know that all of your real relationships are intimate ones where you get to know people, like they're one-on-one friendships. And the idea of going out in front of a big crowd of people and saying like, oh, hey, I'm everyone's friend is my default reaction. But that's not really the same as being Elvis. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's kind of like it's new. It's a different part of my sort of mind works, like I don't have that sort of performer skill set in my mind. I've always been a roadie and it's hard, but like I love being here. I love the chat,
Yeah.
Felix says this could be 100+ campaign. It has the potential. And I believe it. Xenotype really is probably the best property that will launch this year. I'm not saying that to cast shade on anyone else either. And I'm not saying that, oh, my book's the best. I'm telling you as objectively as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Property-wise, 2020 Xenotype will probably be the best thing. If this does well, if you guys get an opportunity to see Volume 2, Volume 3, where this is going, it's going to blow your freaking minds. Like, I wrote this with continuity in mind. This is like an old 80s Marvel comic with a manga shonen battle aesthetic. So imagine like old 80s Marvel, right? With sort of interpersonal sort of hero relationships, and normal people and everything. But then imagine that the fight scenes have no censors and can go on for like 20 or 30 pages worth of just fights with twists and turns and shocks and surprises. Xenotype is a fantastic property, and I've put over a year of development into it, not including the script itself, right? This is a phenomenal project. And if you're sitting on it thinking, well, maybe, jump on. jump on, because this is going to be huge, and it's not just going to stop here in Indiegogo and ComicsGate. There's already, this week alone, I've had 3 publishers contact me. 3
I
publishers
bet.
already. You know, this is going to be huge, and these are going to be high quality product, 90 millimeter to 100 millimeter paper, gloss, beautiful, solid product, right? That is as good as stuff like the 25th Berserk anniversary edition, you know, and this is just the beginning. So this is an exciting time. XENOTYPE itself is about, for those who don't know, it's about Felix Vasquez, who's an aspiring comic book artist with a dream. He's just like us, you know. He wants to have hope for the future, but he gets entangled in this dark conspiracy and learns that the world as it exists now is run by monsters, and there's very little hope. So now, entrusted with his creativity and the ability to rewrite his DNA to become the hero that he imagined and dreamed of, he rises up to fight back against these monsters in an attempt to give hope to a new generation, to push back against the totalitarian control that is essentially, I guess, social justice, metaphorically at least.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, the metaphor is clearly there. Something that really has impressed me about how you've approached this entire, you know, and just as just an outsider looking in on it, I feel like you've shown tremendous patience.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't try to do this too early,
mm-hmm.
which could have been, you know, would have been disastrous. You waited until you had enough of the book done.
Excuse me. Could you just hold? No, this is very unprofessional. Could you just hold on just 10 seconds?
Absolutely.
Please? I have to close the door.
Problem.
I'm very sorry. Just
no, don't
moment.
apologize. It's fine. Hell, chat. Odie is going #MeTooCG. Yeah, well, you know, once has he been on War Campaign already? I'm not sure if Liam was on War Campaign. Does anyone in the chat know? You know, Ro's gonna get his hooks in him. That goblin's just gonna tear him to pieces. Oh man. I think you might be maybe muted.
I said I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. There was one extra door that was not closed by the last person who went through it.
It's no worries.
So there was a noise coming back. You're asking me something?
No, I was asking the chat. I wasn't sure if you had been on War Campaign yet, or if Odie had been, and I was just like, man, Ro's gonna get his hooks into Odie, like he's gonna try and manipulate him like nobody's business.
He's a good guy. I got to look out for Odie. That was part of the deal of him working and actually doing this. Was his old man made me promise that I'd look out for him and that I wouldn't let anyone take advantage of it. So that's why I'm a bit protective of the guy.
No, you know? It's great to. It's really clear that you guys have formed a pretty intense bond. In that
we're best mates.
He believes in this project.
Mm-hmm.
1,000%. Like he's the one. Isn't he the one that kind of, dude? Let's push this page count.
Yeah.
Let's go nuts with this.
This is the thing, and I hate sounding like I hate saying this because I sound like a narcissist, but he's read it. Like he's the other guy that's read the book. Like he knows how good what we have actually is. You people see this art, you know, a lot of the fans and stuff see this amazing art and they go, that's so good, but they don't actually realize how intricate, detailed, and amazing the story is as well. Like this is going to be one of the best books of the year, without question. Like in all of comics, and I'm not trying to oversell. I'm telling you, like, you will enjoy this book. And yeah, he wanted to have the extra page count because he really pushes himself. He knows what Japan's going to expect from us. So he knows the workload that he has to be able to do. And, you know, I try and coach him and keep him hydrated and keep him focused and keep him on point and happy and productive as best he can so that he can achieve those goals. And we work just as hard as we possibly can because this is our whole lives. This is our dream. We're fighting
Yeah.
to be the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't get there. Like we eat, breathe, and sweat Xenotype. You know, from the moment we wake up
Yeah.
until we go to bed.
I believe it, dude. Your passion and eloquence when you talk about your project and ComicsGate have always it's always I always get such enjoyment and inspiration from it, man.
Well, thank you.
You're a wonderful spokesperson for both your project and CG. You know, I just want to it doesn't go unnoticed, man. We're out here, we see you putting in overtime, and we know how committed you are, and it's
Yeah.
gonna it the numbers are gonna pay off in the end. You've got 54 days left in this initial funding. That's a lot of time for a lot of things to happen,
Yeah, for sure.
and
And I
you
wanted to
know,
make sure I had the time so that people would be able to get through, you know, because I'm probably not going to be able to stay in demand. These are limited collector's editions. They are going to be
right?
printed with, ideally, assuming that we hit the numbers we want, they will be printed with foil stamp listing their number, each individual issue. Like, there will probably only be about 500 made unless we sell 1,000, then there'll be 1,000, like 500 made.
Yeah.
Um, but there's very likely only going to be 500 of each, and then that's it in the whole world.
Wow,
They will not be reprinted, and
that's insane, man.
yeah, these are, because this is a service for ComicsGate. This is John Malin did something that I had a lot of admiration for, and that's with Graveyard Shift. He said, "You've got this long to buy it. After that, all done." And when you look at how that is reflected on the secondary market, you would see that these books would nearly double in for a short period of time, triple in value.
Yeah.
And I think that is a fantastic reward for ComicsGate backers who
Hmm.
can buy a couple of extra copies and then sell them secondhand and finance, you know, their future purchases within ComicsGate, without at no real expense to themselves. And
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to give the customer that same kind of experience with Xenotype. I wanted these to be desirable objects, you know, items, collectors
Yes.
items.
There's no
Yeah.
question that's going to happen. I would recommend to everyone to get at least 2 copies of this book and shamelessly sell that second copy
Hmm. I
on
mean,
the
even if you,
aftermarket. It's going to skyrocket in value because it's such a limited run, because
Mhm.
it's once people actually get it in their hands and see the quality that you're put into this and the story, and they
Yeah,
really get it, what this is,
yeah.
the demand for it is it's gonna go through the roof.
That was that's what a bit of this test is. I realize it's very experimental. Some people have said like, "Oh, we're hot dog vendors," but I looked around and I saw a lot of people still hungry, and I thought, well, what if instead of making hot dogs, I serve steaks? You know, what if I open a 5-star restaurant? Can I sustain a 5-star restaurant on ComicsGate?
Yeah,
And it's a big risk. I know it's a big risk. Uh, but at the end of the day, if you don't take risk, there's no point for return. And from studying the customer feedback, from talking to fans and listening and looking at feedback from other books for over 2 years at this point, it's my belief that people with Xenotype having the full 200-page experience and experiencing the entire story arc will have a more rewarding and fulfilling reading experience than the people that are currently picking up the like 48 to 60-page books. And so I can deliver that annually, and people will basically have a more solid read, you know? So
yeah,
that's the idea. But it's a gamble. It's a
dude.
risk,
I
you know?
mean, you know, we've seen. It's not like we haven't seen projects that you know went the high page count route
Mm-hmm.
and get smacked down for it big time.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't think we need to really mention the most recent fiasco.
Oh, of course. And that's a real danger as well. But that's why if you just scroll down just a little bit on the
Yes.
page, you'll see that
Let's do
for
that.
those of you who don't know, just a little lower, right there. That's the spot. I've got the page count there, how close we are above the actual product tiers you can buy. I've got 175 of 200 pages. I think we're actually at 176 right now, or 177. I need to check because I haven't
Yeah.
updated that since yesterday. But I'm going to be updating that every single day. You'll see our production rate. Sometimes you'll notice that 2 pages jump up because we've overworked. But I wanted to make sure the book was pretty much finished before we went to market. You know,
My respect for you in that regard is so huge because there must have been a kind of agony in wait, like
mhm.
being that patient, being that professional, having put so much time into this project already, but having the fortitude to wait, be patient. Let's do this right. Let's make sure once we launch, we're going to be able to fulfill this thing in a reasonable amount of time. And we're going to
Exactly.
have enough done that people are going to have the confidence that there is
Well,
no
that
chance
was
you're not going to fulfill.
exactly, and that was the other thing, that when I built the Xenotype campaign, I did so. I engineered it for success. I didn't build it. I've had some criticism for the format and the layout, and that's fair enough. But the model, the production model, the behind the scenes stuff, like
Yeah,
I expressly constructed that for success. I knew that people were upset with the delays on shipping.
right.
And I knew that so long as you launched with like 5 or 8 pages, that it would take a tremendous amount of time to get, a book into the hands of people. So I thought at the end of the day, you have the option to take a gamble on yourself and find something that you truly believe in, right? Or you can just go, oh, is this something you guys want? And I thought,
Yes.
I'm a winner, so let's win and let's take a chance on what I believe in. Let's take a chance on Odie. I invested a lot of time and effort,
It's
and
so clear, man. And I think the amount of respect, anyone that's paying attention is just going to, it has to be so apparent that you made sure that people can have the confidence and understand that you're fully committed
yeah.
to bringing this thing to reality in a timely fashion. It's just so commendable to me the way
Well,
you've done this because it would have been
people,
easy to get those first 10 pages
yeah,
and
I
just
could have
see,
come in.
let's see how much money we can get. And then it would have been a year
Then these were things
before.
I considered. These were things I considered. I thought perhaps, I should launch with 5 or so pages, 5 to 8 pages, and then I can have stretch goals. And when we reach a certain amount of stretch goals, we bump up the page count and all of this. But in the end, Odie looked over it. He went over my notes, my world building. He looked into like the monster design. So you guys don't even really know what the Alnaga properly are yet because I've been keeping that close
No,
to my chest.
sure.
But like he went over all of this. He's like, this is so original, but it feels so mythic. And I was like, yes, it's good. And so he was like, we have to do this bigger. We have
Yeah.
to show Japan what we're capable of because this is a story that needs to be told.
Dude, I think I tried really hard to be your first backer, man. But I think Mystery
Yeah, Mystery beat you to it.
you beat
Mystery,
me
he's
by a
coming
couple. It must have
flying
been a
ahead.
couple seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
I did it so fast. I backed the wrong thing, and I had to go back and get a higher tier because I didn't get what I wanted. But what really hearing Odie, talk about how he gets sent, people send him ideas, and he's just like how unimpressed he was with most of the stuff that he gets, or it's just like this. Here's a little synopsis of maybe what I want to do, and then he got this thing from you, which I'm guessing was this insanely well thought out, lengthy, passionate kind of just manifesto on what you
Yes.
wanted to do with this project, and he was blown away by it.
Yeah, it was about. It was. I don't want to brag. Yeah, it was quite a lot of work, and it was custom built to see when you work. This is something that people don't really talk about. And what Joe Froggo says, Odie has the drive to be one of, if not the best in the world. He has youth and the worth ethic to become a superstar. Exactly. This isn't
How
it.
old is he? How
He's
old is he
19.
again?
He's 19. He was 18 when I.
Holy.
He was
Ow.
18. Yeah, he was 18 when I met him, and for the last year we've
Wow.
pushed and pushed to become what he is capable of now, and he's
Wow.
going further. And the pages, you guys see him on Twitter, but they're not here on the campaign. I can't show a lot of them. He's
Yeah.
improved so much.
Yeah. Of course he
So
is.
much.
Of course he's going to.
He's growing like nothing else I've ever seen. It's amazing. He's an absolute prodigy. It's absolute prodigy. He will be one of the best manga in the world, if not the best manga, no doubts. And this is your chance over here to buy his first work.
Yes.
And even
Yeah,
original
dude.
art by him, which he doesn't sell and produce. Like he usually he sold some of that stuff in galleries, but he doesn't do that anymore. Everything he does is digital now. So if you
Yeah.
there's the bottom tier is the only way you're going to be able to get original art by him. That's all going to be numbered and signed. That'll be the only physically signed stuff, unless we can fly Odie over here. We do well enough, like we get 100K, you know. But other than that, that's the only way to get his signature, right? Is with that bottom tier.
Dude, I'm telling you, he is going to explode, just like you're saying.
Mhm,
He's 19. He's so young.
mhm,
He's going to evolve just on working on this book, like you said. He's
mhm,
evolving at a rapid pace.
mhm.
He is going to become this huge name. Do yourself a favor. Buy this guy's early work. Xenotype is going to be one of the most sought after collectibles. I
Mhm.
mean, if it a couple years down the road, who knows? The guy's first book, yeah, it's
This is your chance to jump onto a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. This is, like
exactly.
this is an amazing opportunity for people. And I know that that's the most narcissistic sale pitch ever, but I wouldn't lie to the community. If you haven't been listening to me, all of the choices that I've made have come at a detriment to myself to put the community first. You guys asked for 2 versions of the book. There were so many of you that wanted a color version that was like a graphic novel, and there were so many of you that wanted a pure manga version that was black and white. And I made sure I front loaded the campaign in such a way, I put together a model in such a way so that you can vote with your dollar and you can pick up what you want,
Yeah.
and that's the reason my goal is a little bit higher, because I have to do 2 print runs and stuff, and I have to pay for the colors and everything. But I'm doing all of this for you, the customer, and I want to get enough money that I can start revealing the stretch goals and giving extra bonuses. Like
Yeah.
there's a ton of really cool stickers we have developed, and I can't really show them to anyone because
Right.
we've got to get that stretch goal to make them. Um,
Yes. No, I
so
get it. I love that you already have that stuff ready to go. Because
yeah,
these are the kind of things that people put off, and then it holds up it holds up fulfillment, holds up the whole campaign, and you're again, all all these decisions you make are in benefit to the customer.
that's my goal.
You're always thinking about that. You're always putting that first, and it's such an impressive thing to see.
I truly, sincerely, from my heart, believe in the ComicsGate model and the cause. I truly believe that by putting the customer first and being the mom and pa store of comic books, by being the living letters page, we can revive the industry. People say you can't save the industry, it's doomed. I say you're wrong. I truly believe we can save comic books, and I'm willing to put in the work to do it. Maybe no one else is, but I will fight for the fans to give
Sure.
them what they want and what they need. And I will fight to get mainstream, and I will fight to get books into the hands of kids. Right now,
Yeah.
manga outsells comic books 10-1 in the West. A lot of kids won't even pick up a comic book. This is
Yeah.
my chance to show them what comic books can really bring them. They'll just think it's a manga they'll pick up. They'll start to get a lot of the old storytelling techniques that are from the West, and they might begin exploring into other ComicsGate titles, into other things. All of this is for us. All of this is for the team. All of this is for $10 million this year. You know?
It's
Hail.
incredible, man. I absolutely. It's really so inspiring to just see people. And you know, I don't think the comics. This is an evolution of comics. And some people might, you know, you could define it as comic books dying, but it's like so many other industries and entertainment mediums they've all had to evolve in this new landscape of,
You could say,
the digital era, the internet age,
Mhm.
and comic books are no different. ComicsGate represents the right and correct evolution of comic books to me. That's where it's going. We are basically ComicsGate is leading the charge to the
Exactly.
future for this
You know,
medium.
you could say it's got to evolve or die, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah, there you go.
there's a lot of
Nicely
stuff
done.
like that. No, there's a lot of
Nicely
stuff
done.
like that. If you really look at my work, you can pick it up and read it and think this was a fun action romp, but the layers that are in my writing and my work, like if you sit down and you look at this, you're not just sitting there going, "Oh, look at all this little detailed art." There's room for theory crafting. There's plot projection. I'm not making anything up on the spot. So like everyone's characters arcs are decided. You'll be able to speculate in theory and all of the stuff that fans love to do. Because this is the stuff that fans like to engage in. So when I was producing a product, I didn't want to create another eidolon to narcissism. I didn't want to say, this is my story and my story is the best. Instead, I looked at the market and I looked at fans that had been denied an opportunity to buy things because they no longer existed. And I looked at the demand and I created something to fill the need of that demand. And to give something back to the comic book community that had been taken from them by censorship, by lax writing, and by lazy artists, you know. And
Right.
that's what this is. This is my masterpiece.
I love that, dude. I love that you're willing to like state that and know it, like you know it to your core. That
Yes.
this is the thing that you want to put out into the world. It's your baby, it's your masterpiece, and
This is the story people will like the most that I have to tell. I have a few other stories. I've got a couple of stories I like more than XENOTYPE, which people go, you can't say that. But this is the story that the most people will like and think is my best work. So this is what I go forward with because it's
nice.
about serving a community. When I have a bit of extra money, I can take risk on some more experimental ideas. You know what I mean? Right now,
Right.
I want to provide a service to the reader. I want to provide you an escape and an opportunity and a fun experience and a community that you can be engaged in.
Yeah. I wanted to go back briefly to just the highly collectible
Mhm.
and value nature of this book because, like Narwhal, when he had that, your boy Zach did that review on Earthbound and he just kind of took off and now you cannot buy Earthbound right now. You can't buy it.
Mhm.
It's sold out in all its forms. Now imagine, now I'm sitting here going, why didn't I get more? I should have got 2, 3, 4 copies of that book.
Exactly. And Narwhal, he's a rock star. He's
a rock star.
People say, he is. I say he's not even an artist. I say he's a visionary. There are types of artists that I believe that he is beyond an artist. I think that the man is a visionary. I think that in the next few years that will come, Narwhal will shape up to be probably one of the greatest talents in media. And I know that's a big compliment to lay down, but I
can't argue.
You look at the early works of Spielberg. You look at what Spielberg looked like on the set. You look at what Lucas looked like on the early set of the work. You look at Narwhal. This is a man cut of the same cloth. This is a man with the same potential and the same spirit and the same storytelling vision. Narwhal is an amazing creator, and I will stand behind him 100%.
Yeah, you know, and it's like
Thanks, Frogo.
when you, yeah, man, that's, I really appreciate that. I really do. You know, of course, you never know when EBS
That's
is
it,
gonna
isn't it?
drop the bomb, and it's like, you know, I just wanna contribute. I was inspired by everything going on. I think I'm getting close to 50 projects that I've backed.
Amazing.
Um,
What
and I'm
would you
not, you know,
say?
I'm not a huge spender. I do what I
Mhm,
can, but to
mhm.
me, it was like I want to start a channel so I can, you know, if I put the time in and do the work, maybe I can get to a place where I can move the needle for people and help move this thing forward. Because I see what's happening. I don't people who are maybe just coming into this and going, "Huh, maybe I can make a comic book." Maybe they don't realize just how
No.
special this moment in indie comic history is.
Yeah.
There has never been a time where a virtual unknown comic book creator could step into a scene and make these kinds of numbers happen.
And let's talk a little bit. Let's be negative. I know that people love when I'm negative, but let's be a little bit negative and say there's a risk that comes with that too. That we've started to
Sure.
see multiple times. You know, trust, fulfillment issues, and of course quality. You know, but I assure you, 100% guarantee this isn't just a lazy story that I wrote in an afternoon. I wrote political systems. I wrote systems of law. I wrote the background on 4 different nations. I wrote an entire mythology. I wrote the true history of the world. I have so much worked on. This is an entire, like, I have a Silmarillion for Xenotype, right? Because that's the level of work I do to it. Normally, I'd work with like a 12 or 30 man team and would put all this stuff together for development. I did it all
Right.
myself. I did it well, and I know exactly where this story is going. I know exactly what can happen, and this isn't going to be just something that you pick up and think, well, this is terrible and it's full of spelling errors and grammar. Some people might
Right.
go, oh, Liam makes spelling errors on his Twitter. Guys, that's Twitter. Okay.
It's Twitter, man.
I've got my fat Trump thumbs pumping away on my iPhone, and I'm looking at it like 3 in the morning, and I go, I don't even care.
I
Tweet.
know it's
You
so
know?
annoying. You post the Twitter thing and you're like, "Oh, oh, that stupid mistake." And then you're like, "Do I delete it and redo it?" Nah.
Yeah,
Nah.
exactly. Who
Let it
cares?
stand. Let it stand. But
Sometimes
dude,
sometimes I'll catch it. Sometimes I'll catch it and I'll look at it and be like, that's technically wrong, but I'd have to click back 3 times and then delete a whole word and write it again. I'm not going to do that. And but that's not how I write my books, guys. Understand that that's
that's
just
so
my
clear.
social media laziness, right?
Yes. No, when it comes to how you've approached this project,
Mhm.
you know, it's more like it's total mastery.
Thank you.
It's kung
Thank you.
fu.
It's kung fu, baby. That's what we're doing. We're kung fu. I like that. ComicsGate kung fu.
That's right, dude. That's a scene from I think it's Drunken Master or Drunken Master 2.
Yeah,
Um,
phenomenal
Jackie
series
Chan,
of
man.
films.
There was a time like when I actually had to go to like I think I went to a Chinese video rental place just to watch some Jackie Chan, you know, and had no idea what they were saying, but it wasn't about that. It doesn't really matter. It was about
Remember
the
the old days of VHS where, like, if you wanted to
yeah,
watch like manga or you wanted to watch like Oriental movies, you had to like go to these cheap stores or these obscure little markets.
yep,
You get yeah, it was a fun. It was an adventure. It was a hunt to find this
yes,
exotic stuff. You
and
know?
that's you know I feel like CG kind of brings that into the mix where it's like it's the seekers, it's the hunters, the
Yeah.
people that are like I am not really into what the mainstream is putting on offer, and I'm
Mm.
going to go outside those boundaries. I'm going to put in the effort to hunt down and seek out that thing that
Yeah.
really gets under my skin, that really
Exactly.
makes
They're
me
the early
happy.
birds. They're the early birds. They're the true believers. They are the best fandom in the world. And I know because I've seen a lot of fandoms. I've been in a lot of fandoms. I know cult culture. And I don't mean that like, you wear hoods. I mean like, like horror movies and obscure corners of the internet, like the punk scene. I've
It's good
seen,
that you it's good that you
yeah,
quantified that.
yeah. Like I know that sort of indie spirit, and of
Hmm.
all of them, ComicsGate is the best. You guys are
Yeah.
honestly the best. Like you're paying for dick cancer and you're laughing at feminists being crazy. Anti
Yeah.
anti like the anti ComicsGate are all like delusional weirdos. Like it's just we're winning constantly. That
All
we're
the
doing
time.
so well. We're doing so well that the professional artists that were shitting all over us like last year have been ordered to silence. Like, do not engage them for
Just stop.
fear
Maybe if we ignore them.
that they'll go away. And
And
now
they
that they're
still
ignored,
probably in their narcissistic fashion, they're like, the only reason they're doing well is because we gave them too much attention. And it's like,
exactly.
let's try not giving. And then it's like, well, that's not working.
This is
What's
it.
happening?
Exactly.
What?
While they ignore us, guys, we do this. We make $10 million in 1 year. We get Xenotype up to 100,000.
Yes.
We turn this into a six figures young lady campaign. You guys back me up, and I won't just give you a good book. I will become the most powerful and influential comic book creator in all of Australia. And trust me, that the YouTube I can do once I achieve that will be truly glorious, my friends. You're investing in a dream, and
Yes.
exactly. That's great. This is awesome.
Dude, you're gonna but yeah, it's it's just so clear. What impresses me all the time is, I like Six Gun Gorilla, Brian, and I don't know how to say his last name, Christogow, Brian Chris Goop. He just, I was dropping some really obscure references in the chat he was in, and he knew all of them, like El Topo, all these obscure films, and it's like, it's become so clear to me that everyone in Comicsgate, most of the people that are rallying behind this thing and driving it forward, they're the seekers. They're the people who have always sought out those beautiful pieces of art, those things in the medium that weren't just plopped in front of them and it was just easy pickings. They sought out the best of everything.
They're
And
people who
that's
aren't
what
afraid to
makes up
ask.
CG.
They're the people, they're fanatics, and that's a good
Yeah.
thing. That's where the word fan comes from. They're
Yeah.
they're the people that aren't afraid to ask questions, that aren't like,
Yeah.
why does Wolverine's hands bleed when he pops his claws? Is it painful? Like these are the guys. People
Yes.
that are like, that understand the psychology of She-Hulk. Cecil and I had this fantastic discussion about the psychology of She-Hulk. Hey, Wendy. Hey, it's one of my favorite ladies. You're in here. It's always
Nice.
good to see you.
Nice.
And we know everyone by name. Like, that's what I want. I want a mom and pa store for international comic sales so that we can
Dude.
never be closed down.
So beautiful. And just me here talking to you, like, you're up this ladder so many more, like the fact that you're willing to engage a smaller channel,
Of
someone,
course.
you've seen me around, that I'm part of this thing, that I'm
Mhm.
passionate about it, and you're like, it's not about always just moving the needle for my project. Sometimes it's about giving the guy below you a little bit of a boost,
It's
and you're
community,
willing
and
you're
we're
willing
all
to
about.
do it.
Yeah, we've got to lift each other up. That's the reason I train other CG artists and writers, and I put my time in, and I tell people that's a bad idea, that's a good idea. Like, because I want this to be truly great. I don't want people to get out with a bunch of half finished books and like Captain America ripoffs. I want people to have their true legacy. I want people to have, this is a rare opportunity. You get one shot. This is it. You got to take that one hit and you got to knock them out because you won't get a second chance. Right?
Right.
Xenotype is my one good shot. you know, and
Yeah.
it's got to lay out the competition. And I need people to grab this book, trust in this property, grab one for your kids, for your friends' kids, for your nephews, whatever you can. Even if you just get one here and another one later, like work it out, because this is not going to be coming back. It's going forward, and it's going to be growing big and fast. And it's the only way that I can bring other people up with me, is if I have 100 hands on my back pushing me forward, helping me achieve my dreams, helping Odie
Yep.
become the best in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude,
For sure.
it's
Mm.
yeah, I think hell, I'm convinced myself. I think that I need to get myself a second copy. And I love I love the full rendered black and white. And
Well,
it's not about a cost thing for me. I would happily buy the color, but I love the black and white. It looks so
yeah.
good.
Well, for those people that want to get two, I mean, you can always get the platinum pack. That's the one that's on special there. You get a bit of a discount on both of the books. I've done the
Right.
best deal I possibly can on the shipping with that. I'm even taking a little bit of a loss on that. But it means that you'll get both the books, and then you decide which one you want to keep. You give the other one to a friend or a niece or a nephew. Like exactly. Joe Froggo, or not Joe Froggo, is a legend, and I'm honored to have him here with us.
He promotes and promotes tirelessly, always pushing the projects, always there, always
Yep.
putting in the time. It's incredible. And again, I know this guy's a seeker. He's a hunter.
Yeah.
He's always looking for that thing that is just that little bit better, just that visionary thing that is
Yeah.
outside the mainstream, that is outside the typical. Just it's mainstream has become so pathetic, so watered down, so
Yeah.
worthless.
It's vapid, soulless, bleak and bland marketing team trash. It will continue to get worse. The only way for it to be different is for people to invest in individuals like myself who can use their experience and their time, and who are willing to sacrifice their time to actually try to uplift others and grow and create things to compete with the mainstream. We need to be we need to be building ComicsGate up. We are architects of the future. We are engineers of dreams, because the
Ooh.
industry is dead. You know?
It is. And also,
A quarter, 15 minutes.
Yeah, dude. Engineer of dreams. Yeah, I like that. That's
Yo,
sexy, dude.
Thank
That's
you. Well, it's
sexy.
true. It's true. Like, do you think that someone like Jim Henson could exist today? No.
Right. Yeah.
That's a sickness, my friend. That's a sickness in the industry. And ComicsGate is an opportunity to combat that sickness. It is an opportunity for individuals like Narwhal. Again, we're singing the praises of Narwhal, like Narwhal,
The mighty narwhal.
to truly rise up and express themselves, when the alternative would be silence. It would be, well, your gender's wrong, your age is wrong,
Right.
your skin is wrong, so your expression is to be caged and boxed. Now we are free, and we can compete on the quality of our merit.
Yeah, look at this. Without ComicsGate, Narwhal would still be
Waiting and struggling
slicing deli meats,
and
right?
singing about
Nobody
girls. Yep, crying into his beer every Sunday while he listens to sad music.
not taking showers, not taking care of his personal hygiene. Now, I just saw him. He was streamed earlier, and he was looking fresh and popping.
You see him, he posted
The
that
guy's
photo?
alive. He's so
Yeah.
jazzed. The dream is
Posted
happening
that-
for him.
He posted that photo of him standing. He's like 450 books posting, and I thought, "Fuck, you look like a young Spielberg." And so I tagged his production
Yes.
company. I was like, "This is your next $1 million."
Champion, dude. It's such a beautiful success story, and
Yep.
it just speaks to what is possible when you do it right. And it didn't happen. Look, it didn't happen on his first or his second campaign. He built up the trust, he built up his presence, and then people saw the work. And like you said, it's visionary. I read Earthbound and I'm like, this is on a different level. This is coming from a mind that you don't come across all the time. This is a unique creator, and he's CG, and it's so damn exciting to see that kind of talent emerge from this movement, you know. And you're about to have XENOTYPE. To me, is it's the next narwhal. It's going to have that explosion. It's going to happen for you. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen
for sure.
You know,
I think
there's no doubt.
I think steady incremental increase is a sign that the project is alive. It's doing well, even though it hasn't had a big explosion like Raging Golden Eagle's book. We're doing exceptionally well.
Yeah.
And I think that people will just invest in it when they can, because it is a more expensive book. But again, for those of you who don't know, this is a 200-page book. It will be a complete arc. I'm following the arc model rather than the floppy model. And this is your chance to send a message to other ComicsGate creators and say, we want bigger books, higher quality books, you know, make it so.
Yeah, dude. Just want to give a shout out to Brian, Six Gun Gorilla creator. He's here. Hell, happy to have you, everyone. If you can share the video, really appreciate it. If you're not subbed to the channel, which likely you're not, because it's a tiny little channel, I would appreciate that as well. And I want to thank Liam for being here. You think you're ready for the CG Rorschach test?
Sure.
Do you think you're down for that?
Am I going to end up like going all Watchmen and stuff on people afterwards in a mask? Like,
it could reveal.
Are you going to bring out my fascist, dark, conservative nature? You know, like, is that what's going to happen?
It could reveal anything. We never know. At the end, I'll feed it into the supercomputer, and we'll find out.
Yeah, you're popping out mind tests and stuff, and a commie shows up in the chat. Isn't that interesting time?
Oh, what did Commie Mark just get here?
Yeah, it just popped up.
Hail, Commie Mark!
As soon as the psychology starts to happen, you know.
there he is. There's the communist.
Yeah.
What do you know? Crazy.
Damn communist.
Crazy dude. All right. Okay, so we're going to kick this off. Just whatever the image invokes, whatever you're feeling, drop it on us. And we will judge you harshly, of course, as CG demands.
I would not have it any other way.
Yes.
It's kind of like a dark angel, like with sort of like it's a seraphim, right? Like, look, it's got it's got the 3 wings on each side, and sort of the cloak. It's like a decapitated seraphim with its hands raised like this.
Totally.
That's weird. That. Like a headless seraphim. And see the little belt in the middle of its midsection?
Absolutely.
Its legs pressed together, kind of like a ballerina.
Yeah, I see it completely. Nice. Good start. Cool. Good start.
That's unpleasant, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a bloody hole. I'll just say that. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, I'm curious to see what the supercomputer will do with that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. You want me to answer on?
What do you? There's no wrong answer here. All right.
Oh, okay. This is an interesting one. I don't know. Nothing immediately jumps to mind looking at it.
Yeah, this one's really bizarre.
sorry guys, I should have some sort of, like I should just say it looks like a rainbow dong, but I want to be honest. So like, oh no, wait, okay, so I see little cat paws on either side to the left and right. I see little, or at least paws, and no,
Yeah.
I can't make out anything, man. But I do see those little
sometimes
paws.
if you don't have a reaction, you don't have a reaction. That's totally
Yeah.
understandable.
It's strange, like, oh sweet lord, it's chaos. It's like a cat face with octopus tentacles, and then like the black is like the skinned head of a dog worn on top of the cat's head. And then behind that is some sort of brilliant red flower. Like a collar.
I like that, dude.
That's what I'm looking at.
I like that. All right, let's drop one more, and then
Sure.
we'll get our results.
Okay, it looks like a rabbit that had been run over across its face. So its body had been squished out. See, those things are its ears, and then there's the flattened face in the middle.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't. Now that you say it, yeah, okay, I can.
It's pretty brutal, I suppose.
I can
It's a
go
dead
there
rabbit.
with you.
It's a dead
Just to
rabbit.
make you feel better. I'm gonna go with you on that one.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, so let's find out. We're gonna feed this into our highly sophisticated computer, and see what the results are.
But can you do this?
Well, there, there you have it. I guess the results are
A Wonder Core.
Wonder Core, Japanese commercial, PewDiePie. These are, we must ponder.
Well, no, this is deeply relevant to my life. So, PewDiePie was something that I never really got involved in. You know, it was sort of a trend I missed. But Odie watched him every single day when he drew. And so when we started working together, he introduced me to PewDiePie, and so we started watching his videos. So every single day while we were working, and I was like, do that better, and I would lash him across his shoulders, you know, like with the cane. Like we would be watching PewDiePie. So it was pain and hard work, and I've got a lot of good memories of PewDiePie. And I mean, look at this weeb shit here that I'm selling. That explains the Japanese stuff, right?
Yeah, dude. Well, you know, I have to admit, I managed to avoid watching a single PewDiePie video up until, and I was finally just, I guess maybe for, like a lot of people, when the mainstream just turned on him, just went gangster on him, and basically did the same thing they do to a lot of ComicsGate people. You know, he's now a Nazi or a racist or whatever they're trying to label him as. I was like, okay, I got to check this guy out. And fuck all, dude. He's entertaining as hell.
He's funny. He's a funny guy.
He's lovable. He's a lovable motherfucker.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know about the sexual relations with his mother, but I do know that he's a swell fella.
I don't know anything about that. I have no idea. Is that another mainstream accusation?
Well, I don't know. It's I know that it's a mainstream activity now, according to porn search results. So
right.
That's what
everybody wants their mother. Holy shit! What a nightmare, dude.
What a dark world we live in. We've got communists in the chat. Dude. We've got people banging their mother. You know, it is a dark time. And thankfully, ComicsGate is our shelter and our refuge in this time of degeneracy.
The funniest. Funnier than Cash Grab? Maybe. It does look, the book does look funny.
Yeah, Commie Mark is doing Best Korea. Like, can we bring that up? Is that possible?
Yeah, we can bring it up. He reached out to me, and I'm not completely convinced about. I don't want to have somebody on the show unless I'm 100% like I would back the book myself, and
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm not really sure
Yeah,
I'm
no, it's a
there,
good point.
but the
We should,
CG
you're
is
right. We
starting
should,
to convince me like maybe I'm
nah,
an
nah,
idiot and I don't get
let's
it.
watch. Let's scroll down and watch my 30-second trailer instead. We won't support the communist propaganda commie mark. We won't do it. Don't go and
We
look.
just won't do it.
Don't go and look at Best Korea by commie mark. Don't do it. It's
Just don't do it.
just don't do it. It's forbidden.
It's absolutely forbidden.
We've got
All
dead
right,
air.
I'm trying to bring this thing up here.
I don't know if you can or not.
Oh, I can. I can do anything, my friend.
You've got like crazy elite tech skills.
No, I can't even get my green screen to work properly.
Oh gosh.
So, that's why it's just, I grayscaled myself and
Yeah.
let's see.
I think it works. I think the grayscale works. It gives it that beautiful roaring 20s look,
I do what I can. It's like I would love to be able to have this beautiful XENOTYPE background behind myself and make it look like I'm wealthy and but no, I'm in a dank little apartment somewhere with a sheet hanging behind me. So deal with it.
But how many dead strippers are hanging behind that sheet? Because
No one can ever know that. I don't even know if I don't remember. It's so many at this point. I don't think I know the number.
But is not the wealth of a man the number of dead strippers hanging behind his curtain?
Obviously.
Mm-hmm. These are the things that matter.
Without saying. The fact that you even had to say that is a little weird.
Just be thankful for the little miracles that you have.
Yes. All right. So who made this 30-second?
This is done by Hype Train sensation Cider Hype. He is fantastic. He's one of the boys I've sort of been nudging along and encouraging to build up and chase his dreams. He's been a member of the community for a while. Good dude, high energy. And he made this for me just as an act of charity, just because he's a mate. And I love it. It's a better pitch than
CG at work. CG at work again.
Yeah,
dude.
Exactly.
All right.
And you'll see how good it is. Hey, it's great.
I love this one because it just so succinctly defines what the book is.
It means I don't have to pitch it.
Exactly.
Young Felix Vasquez began life like any other citizen of Van Gloria. Through a twist of fate, this wannabe comic book artist is thrust into a whirlwind of reality-shattering secrets. Now, with the power to rewrite his own DNA, Felix adopts the name Esper and lays his life on the line to protect all that he loves.
Dude, it's fantastic.
Thank you. It's a great series too. Wait until you think you know where it's going. You don't know where this is going.
You don't know where it's going.
That's why these people are going, "Oh, you've ripped off Guy, bro." It's like, you guys have no fucking clue what my book's about. Sorry for the language, but no clue.
Something. I mean, it's not. I haven't talked about it much, but I dabbled in comic creation myself back in the day. This is maybe 15 years now. I actually had a comic published with Image Comics.
Phenomenal.
Called Runes of Ragnan. It was a Viking mythology book. And I made it. It's such a tough balance because there was this huge secret about what the book, like the big reveal I had for what the premise was. And I wanted people to discover it when they read the book. But that led to a conflict of interest with marketing the book because that would have been a great selling point.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't.
It's tough.
It's as a I think writers really struggle with this. You want to keep things under wraps so much because you want people to have this moment of discovery with what you're creating. But then if you don't give enough of that, like the power behind what you're doing when you market it, it's a detriment. And it's like, how have you dealt with trying to find that balance?
Well, I tried to combat it by doing regular daily, bi-daily updates showing art over the course of about a year. So people would see before the project even launched that we were productive every single day and we were doing high quality stuff every single day. And they'd get a bit of a glimpse of what was going on. But I would only ever post Japanese text so most people couldn't read it, or I would have the text removed so that people couldn't really see the script and what was going on. So they're sort of eyeballing things. But even Xenotype as it is, like, it's pitched as like this basic fighting superhero like series, right? Shonen. And that's ultimately what the first issue sort of reads as. But the series itself is going to go in a much more interesting direction. It'll still have those aspects. It'll still have the fighting, the great fights, and the action and the ultra violence. But I mean, there is more to this character.
You've got secrets. I know you're holding them close to the chest, and I love that. And it is tough, you know. And I think you're finding the right balance of like, how much do I reveal? How much do I let people discover?
I would strongly suggest, from the time that I've sort of had this practice experience now, that every single comic book person that's about to pitch should have a scantily clad bikini girl just off camera. And then when people start asking about your plot secrets, they can just jiggle across some sort of dance, perhaps Arabian, you know, maybe something a little exotic, a little bit of a dance, and then, you know, they'll distract
a little Adam Post simping time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Maybe if you can't afford Arabian scantily clad dance girls, you could do as Adam does with his simping and have some videos prepped that you could deflect to. But
even though, you know, Carl LaRoe throws a hissy every time. Adam Post tries to do he's like, this isn't right. It's not supposed to be actually appealing. It's supposed to be both appealing and repulsive simultaneously.
Felix,
or it's not right. And Carl gets so pissed.
Yeah. Oh, it's great though. It's good. It's good dynamics. Felix Haas says, Liam, if Felix is a wimp with a harem of women that constantly save him, I will never forgive you. I just want you to know that's actually one of the things that I'm working firmly against. I believe that's a negative stereotype that's currently hurting anime. Felix does actually begin out a wimp. He does. He's an art nerd. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of like, he's a little bit of a wise guy. He's a mama's boy because he grew up without a father. That's a big part of the story. But by the end of the first issue, he's had to go through so many trials that he really has to face what it means to be a man, and the responsibilities of needing to step up and protect your friends, and what it takes, and personal accountability and self-actualization. So no, he actually is the kind of guy that saves women, and my book doesn't actually pass the Bechdel test, unfortunately. I know.
What a disappointment that is.
I've got beautiful ladies that get saved, and most of them are more problems than are worth saving them. And it's a story about mates becoming young men together, you know?
Dude, I think it sounds like a wonderful arc for the character, and of course you don't want, who wants the protagonist to start out with every conceivable, like, being perfect. Like, this is the Captain Marvel approach to heroism, where I started out perfect and I ended perfect, and there's no change happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's so boring.
There were a couple of things that were important when I was developing Felix's character. The first is that he had to be fatherless. So he's someone that grew up without a male role model in his life, without a strong male role model. I did this because of the divorce rates that are currently over 70% here in Australia. And I wanted to make a character that, like, kids, when like teenagers, when they read it, young boys especially, you know, in their early like 14 age sort of bracket, would look and be like, I never had a dad either. And they're looking for some sort of guidance and thinking, this guy's like me. And the other thing that was important for him is that he's a good person, genuinely. Like, in the same way Clark Kent is a good person. Like, he's not perfect. He's not perfect like Clark, you know. He's still a young boy. He likes, like, he's like, I mostly goof off and draw characters of cute girls and my friends, you know. Like, that's who he is. But, like, in his heart, he's a kind person who cares about others. And he tries to help others because he feels responsible for others, even though he's not responsible for them, you know, because he cares. And there's story about that too. But the main thing for me was, and this is something that I focus more heavily on in my Lock and Load series, but I wanted to really show friendship because I felt like the current anime scene and the current mainstream scene has all but abolished genuine friendships. Everything is really over-sexualized or kind of creepy. So I wanted Felix to have friends like you had in high school. These are people that you'll know your whole life because you grew up with them, you know?
That's interesting. I hadn't considered that necessarily with the over-sexualization of, you know, friendship in mainstream offerings, but you know, you're right. It's almost always. It seems like there's just an unnatural focus on that all the time.
There is. Bromance is. It's about if you've got two main characters that are like just strong friends. They're always shipped. They're always shipped by fandoms. They're always like it's a bromance. They're secretly gay and all this other stuff. It's like no. I want to actually to show, look, this is actual loyalty and friendship. This is mates. Like, I want to show, like, if you were in war and you went through a hard situation with your buddy, you're buddies for life. You know what I mean? Like, you're mates, you know? And so when these guys go through a really difficult situation, it's, they form this strong friendship, but there's still tensions between it. For instance, those of you who are familiar with the series, am I rambling too much?
Rambling? Isn't that what we're here for?
Okay. So should I continue?
Rambling. I like rambling.
Okay, well,
I'm going to play. Kaneda, help me, please. just to break it up. We'll break it up, you know, a little bit.
We're gonna have a lot of awesome shit like that too. So,
yes.
So basically, like with Axel, right? Axel's the guy that you've seen in a lot of the art where he's like wearing the black sleeveless shirt, you know? He's all banged up. Axel is just he's my personification of toxic masculinity, right? Like he's a good friend, but he's man. He's as man as they can be at like 19. And really, he should be the superhero. If Axel received superpowers, he could save the world and defeat the bad guys because he's a boxer. He's a professional boxer that's just starting his career out. He knows what he's doing and he's not afraid and he's confident and he has the willpower he needs to succeed in the face of overwhelming adversity. But Felix, the art nerd who has no combat experience, is the guy that gets all the superpowers. Right. And that causes some problems initially, and that causes tension because Felix doesn't really have an explanation for where the powers come from, and Axel feels like he's been hiding them, and on top of that, Axel feels like he's not needed anymore because he's always protected Felix, you know, like he's always looked out for him, and now Felix has these superhuman abilities that go beyond all of Axel's hard work, like that. Like his whole life training and working, utterly meaningless in a second. And there's a lot of dynamics.
And these are their best friends.
Yeah, they're best friends.
Oh, exactly. That's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. So, and you know,
like
Felix has no combat experience. You know, in the book, it's like Axel's like in second grade, you got beat up by a girl. Like I've seen you beat up by a girl. Like that's what a pussy Axel used to be. Felix used to be, right? and now he's like fighting these impossible odds against this overwhelming monster that that did tear Axel to pieces, right? He was powerless against it, no matter what he tried to do. And there's a lot of metaphor as well. There's a lot of symbolism and meta commentary behind all my work, but yeah, there's a lot that you guys will find. Yeah, so I'll leave my rant for there for now. But
people like the rambling, dude.
Thank you.
I'm just getting this. I'm getting your the link posted again.
Thank you.
Real quick, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just so impressed with this entire project. Your ambition with it, your patience on getting, waiting to the right moment to release it, that respects the fans.
Mm-hmm.
The quality of it is so apparent. The passion behind it is so apparent. Your artist is so clearly just going to be a superstar, and he is so he believes in what you've written and created with every fiber of his being, and that couldn't be more clear.
Because it's fantastic. Because I'm good at what I do.
I love it, dude.
I don't want to get all Wolverine and be like, I'm the best at what I do, but I'm good at what I do. There's a reason they pay me to do it. There's a reason I can make a living doing what I do, right?
Right. Dude, I have enjoyed. There was an idea I wanted to drop on you about ComicsGate, something I've kind of been thinking about. But I know that you're going on with Mandy Summers and John Malin, yeah?
Yep, in 40 minutes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let you get some rest, get yourself situated for that. I don't want to keep you here too long.
For sure.
Maybe we can do this again.
We can, but if you want to ask me, I've got time. I'm literally just gonna go watch EVS's stream if we hang out, right?
If we just hang out, dude. I have.
Now's the time. I'm here.
All right, hold it. Let me pull this up.
Don't tease the audience with, you might talk about something and leave them waiting.
Well, the audience love to be teased. That's a given.
Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I'm giving too many hand jobs to the homeless and I'm not teasing people enough.
Yeah, dude, you gotta promise the hand job and then not, you gotta string them out on that shit. Big time.
Oh, gosh.
Let's see here. I'm sharing something I haven't shared an app yet. Let's see if this works. Okay, that went away. Let's bring that back up. Okay. You seeing that?
Yep.
Okay, so CG is incredible. There's all this energy. Again, like we've talked about, it's the seekers, it's the people, all the best people who they're just seeking the best and visionary stuff all the time. But one of the problems is it's really expensive, man. Mm-hmm. I don't make a whole lot of money. I support as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But it adds up, and I'm taking some heat. I got to tell you, I'm taking some heat from my my girlfriend. She's like,
where's
how much did you spend on that shit?
Yeah, where's my
what are
new
you doing?
Dress? Where's my new dress? What
exactly.
My nails?
Oh well, but I got this comic book. Aren't you happy for me?
Yeah.
So I think there's if ComicsGate can find a way that where we can deliver a less, a more affordable way for people to get a hold of these books, while not interfering with creators' campaigns, because that's essential. You don't want to create a conflict of interest. Yeah. So I had this idea hit me for like a CG Central kind of thing.
Yep.
And I just have this basic breakdown. So if you have let's just say the average ComicsGate project is $25.
Yep.
And then if say that project costs $3 per copy to print, CG Central would pay the $3 per copy of the print cost plus $2. And let's say it bought 500 copies of that.
Yep.
Okay. For $2,500.
Yep.
Now that $2,500 should go a long way toward paying the print cost for that creator. Mm-hmm. It's a bulk purchase, which is anytime
I don't have any experience running a comic book company.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to give you a lot of help here, but
I just want to get your thoughts on like the idea of it.
Sure. Well, I think it's an interesting idea. It would be very interesting to see if it is viable. I do think that the big demon that ComicsGate needs to slay is postage. That's what
That's
really
the thing.
working hard on.
So if you have this CG Central concept and we're buying, CG Central is buying in bulk all of these, these projects, and they're bringing them to a centralized location. Now, when CG Central sells those books, they wouldn't be signed. There wouldn't be any of the stretch goals. You're just buying the comic book. Mm-hmm. So again, it's not as special as buying it from the Indiegogo campaign. Yeah, of course not. It's not going to be as special, but what it's offering is a lower cost comic, and people would be able to buy multiple comics at one time and have them shipped all at once.
All at once, yeah.
So the creator would get like a $2,500 boost to their campaign, which could pay for the entire print run.
Entirely could. It would not be a bad idea.
It's in that range. It depends on your project, but it's in that range of being able to pay. So that increases their profit margin for their project as a whole. It gives CG supporters who maybe can't afford to drop the bigger money a chance to get these books and support the movement. And the shipping costs would be so much lower.
Yeah, a bit lower, because you'd be able to have consistent. What you really need to know is your tracking. Well, not your tracking, the quantity that you can ship out. So, like I said, I would have a look at Amazon, and I would have a look at eBay for sold listings. I would spend a whole day. This is tedious work, but this is what you're going to have to do if you want to do this series. I would spend a whole day searching for every single ComicsGate related title, even the ones that are guys that say I'm no longer ComicsGate but were at one point. Yeah. For sold issues, I would check the months, I would check the quantities, I'd make a big spreadsheet. I'd go all autistic Edwin and I would put together a spreadsheet. Right. And I would see how many are selling, how often, how much, to make sure that it is viable, that there would be enough traffic for you to move those large numbers. To sustain it as a business model. And I would talk to Liam, I've got sleep brain. I would talk to Nerdrotic, right? Hit him up. He ran a comic company for some time. He's a real swell dude. He's a champion. He's easy to talk to. He knows the 5-finger death touch, so he's very confident. And he'll tell you exactly what he thinks, and he'll be straight with you. But this is the kind of thinking that I encourage people to engage in. We need all minds on this.
Yeah, I've been racking my brain, like how do we give an alternative that lowers shipping costs for people, that gives a lower... So if you've got a $25 comic that comes with all the extras, all the stretch goals, and it's signed.
So my goal
obviously, it's not going to be... But all of a sudden that price goes down to a $9 comic book, and then you can combine it with, say you get 4 or 5 comics at once. It's all one shipping price. Now you're in a range that's almost competitive, like with prices people expect from and it's like, but this would be something like only 30 days after a project has fulfilled would this even become, out of respect for the creator?
Exactly. Yeah. No, but okay.
It's
so
all got to be
I'm
respectful.
gonna give you some backroom baseball, right? Which I shouldn't
Yeah,
do, but I'm
do
doing
it.
it anyway. So with stuff that's
Do
going
it.
on with me, the reason that I'm fulfilling throughout Australia instead of using a fulfillment company isn't just because I think fulfillment companies are douchebags and can't be trusted to deliver
Right.
on time.
Right.
It's because I want to know everything that goes into the process, because my
Yeah.
ultimate goal for Conquest Comics is to be able to set up a printing and distribution hub within the nation of Australia. My
Nice.
goal is to be able to go to set things up and produce at quality fine enough and high enough and build enough trust within the community over the next few years that guys like John Malin and Ethan Van Sciver can come to me and be like, hey, print in Australia, right? Print in Australia and do like print off like 200 books for me and ship them to my Australian backers, and I'll pay you a small little fee, and it'll save me hundreds and hundreds of dollars on shipping, right? That's what I would like to do to make that a viable model. I know that there are a couple of guys in the UK that are sort of looking at the same thing. Think of them like ComicsGate Terra cells, we
I
want
like
to build
that. Yeah,
cells.
totally.
And then that way, if we can prove enough like that we're reliable, that you can count on us for fulfillment and everything, then people can just go like, hey, I've got like 60 Australian backers, do a 100-book run, send off those 60 books, throw the other 40 in a pile somewhere, and like take a chunk of money, there you go, and it'll save me money, and then everyone's winning. We get that all over the place, and it's great. Now that said, boyo, I know that I think it's about 32% of ComicsGate's Australian. I've done the macaroonies, and I've spoken to people. We have a very large Australian contingent.
Macaroonies, is that an Australian term?
No, it's a Liamism. So deep. It comes from the deep depths of my autism. So so that said, I have 4 Australian backers. All of my backers are American.
Interesting.
And I've got a few from Japan and Singapore and stuff, but all my backers are American. Now, I thought that ComicsGate Australia,
your country hates you.
Yeah, I actually have really affordable shipping for Australia and New Zealand.
I bet you do.
I thought I'm going to show these guys how great I can do it. So they're paying like less than they would pay for like shipping from a standard ComicsGate book, but they're getting a book 4 times the size. I thought this will impress them and show people what I'm capable of doing. 4 people from Australia have bought my project. I'm thinking, fuck my nation. I'm trying to dig a well here. I'm trying to dig a well here so that Australian comic book creators have somewhere they can go, so they don't need to go to America and live like I did, get their accent all messed up like this. And
shit, dude.
I have no
maybe they're just waiting.
Yeah, it might change.
They're waiting to pounce.
Yeah, maybe it might change when I get on Ethan's stream down the road, maybe, if assuming he has me on. But I'm just thinking, like, where are you guys? Like there are so many Aussies. Why are none of you backing my project?
Why aren't you here?
What?
That's fascinating, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, it might not be a viable, realistic model to do, because I mean,
it's just, it's not something it's not something I'm necessarily thinking about doing. It just, the idea hit me, and it felt like, man, if we could have a centralized secondary market where people it was a little more affordable and the shipping was less expensive.
Yeah,
that could be interesting. And I think it could be a viable business, because by the time a CG Central type outlet starts selling the book, it's probably not available. Like, you probably can't buy it. So the demand goes up. It's now, this is the only place you can actually get it. I think it could be a cool thing, and it would give a nice boost to everybody's campaign.
You know what you do? You know what you do, right? While we're talking shop. Look at all this happening live, guys. Ooh,
Oh,
ComicsGate, aren't
live
they?
ideas popping.
You hit up every single, I was about to say swear for people. You hit up every single charming individual that's doing their Indiegogo.
Yes.
Son of a who's he what's. Everyone, all my friends, everyone, right?
Yeah.
And you get one of those old, like, not a punch card, but, you know, like those checklists that they used to have for, like, Mile High Comics.
Right.
And you get people to just, you pay them a small fee, and then you just have them throw that slip in with their, you know, that slip of paper in with their, with every single person's Indiegogo. So that, like, when everyone's book gets shipped out, they throw that bit of paper in for you as an ad. Someone opens it. They used to do this with manga back in
I see.
the
Yeah,
UK.
yeah. Right.
But, like, way back in the UK. And then they go, okay, so here is the list of all of the stuff currently available, and they do mailing order. And they're like, I want this, and this. It gives them a chance to buy the previous back issues and stuff from this other company, and they do mail away, and then you mail it through to them. I mean, it could be a viable.
Yeah. Dude, I think,
because like a single sheet of paper weighs nothing, and you get a good graphic designer on it. It looks pretty, you know.
There are so many things. I think there are so many inventive, creative, talented people that are part of this thing. Like we're gonna keep pushing this forward, and everyone should buy 3 copies of XENOTYPE. And
yes,
I just kind of slipped that in there.
No,
randomly. I just kind of randomly slipped it in there.
I know it's a lot to ask, guys, but seriously, grab one to sell, grab one to give to your friends, and grab one for yourself. Or grab one to just keep in storage. You know, this is a big deal.
Grab one to resell on eBay, because when this shit is not available, you're gonna wanna do that, you know, and then you can buy, like I need to do, because I spent too much money on comics. If I buy an extra XENOTYPE, I can resell it for triple the cost, and then buy my girlfriend something.
Yeah, probably double, but you know, triple wouldn't be magical. But
triple.
maybe triple.
Let's go triple.
Have a small run. Well, I just want to be honest with people. I don't want to sort of lie and be like, oh, you know,
we're not interested in honesty. We're at this point, we want to blow. We're just blowing everything out of the water.
This is why I'm a bad salesperson. I don't want to. I just want to be straight with people. That way they'll know I'm not just going, oh, this is the best. I just want to be honest with people. You know, like if something's not good, I'm not going to say it's good, you know? Like
no, I get it, dude. It's a wonderful project. I want to give my sincere thanks for Liam for giving me his time, for coming on my little channel. Dude, you're a rock star. You're a CG fucking superstar.
Thanks,
you're always speaking, you're spitting fire all the time, and we love you, man. We love you.
Thank you.
And this there's gonna hit. It's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. This thing's gonna blow up in your face, and you're just gonna be like, "Whoa!" It's gonna happen. So, you know, I
got one backer. So whoever backed me, I want to say, thank you. You're 130. That's awesome. That makes all of this worth it. I will not let you down. You have my word of honor. I will not let you guys down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, never forget it. I moved the needle for you, bitch.
That's right, brother. That's right.
You owe me.
Hail America. God bless America. Trump 2020. No politics in comics, but Trump 2020. Let's wrap it up.
All right, man. Hey, everybody. Liam's going to be going on with Mandy Summers and John Malin. Be sure to check that out. I'm sure it's going to be a really good time. Malin, even though he has no eyebrows and looks like a complete and total freak, he always brings it.
He brings everything but the eyebrows.
Yes. So be sure to check that out. And Liam, thanks again for being here. And again, if you haven't liked the stream or subbed to the channel, please do that. And thank you all for being here. It means a lot. Peace out.
Yes.